All right, hopefully we're back. We had a software crash live. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Something's apparently updated in the background, and Wirecast couldn't figure it out. Um, Adobe
I
pushed all
think
their
it's because we
updates
were
out.
talking about Elon and China, and all of a sudden they pressed. No.
Yeah, that could be. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I guess we'll get to our main stories before the deep state knocks us off the air again, because we're going to get to them shortly, too. But first up is more rhino betrayals, of course. Here are the 5 South Carolina Senate rhinos who voted to block redistricting. Yes, these 5 sided with the Democrats to block the redistricting effort there. Again, this could have been another pickup. Right now, we're positive 9 after the Supreme Court ruling to end these VRA, these race-based districts. But Sean Bennett, Chip Campson, Tom Davis, Greg Hembry, and Shane Massey, they voted with the Democrats to block the effort. I don't understand how we have this many saboteurs on our own side. All these undocumented Democrats or trans Republicans. I guess that's my other my other new term for them. You know, they're just Democrats pretending to be identifying as Republicans. But again, this is pathetic. I don't understand why right now, like every state that has a VRA district right now should be using every tool they have to ensure that they redistrict as early as possible, so we don't have complaints from the Democrats or anybody else that, oh, you changed things too far into the primary or too close to the election or whatever else. Every state right now in the union that has one of these districts that we control should be maximizing their advantage. And we do have some more joining the club, but there's a lot that are still sitting on the sidelines with their thumb up their ass.
And it's shocking that it happened of all states, South Carolina, which is about as red as you can get. Good God, people are flocking to South Carolina. Per capita, South Carolina is picking up more new residents than any state in the nation per capita. Now, that
Wow.
said, these 5, they're going to have to get primaried. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
they're going to have to get bounced like a la Indiana style. And as we talk about these race-based voter districts, congressional districts here, I love the fact that they're going after Tennessee and saying, "How dare you do that?" when the leading candidate for the Republican Party is a black female
Yeah.
and going against an old white guy, and Democrats stay with it because this chick apparently she's the new black face of white supremacy, which of course is what they tagged Larry Elder with in California. But
Yeah.
but South Carolina, that's just inexplicable that these 5 would do this.
Oh, I know. And you're exactly right. The Tennessee, the hypocrisy there is just unbelievable, but it's completely lost on the media that you have an old white man representing this majority black congressional VRA district, but he's their guy, whereas the black conservative woman, she's basically hiding her Klan card right now, or at least that's what they're pretending
Joe
that
White
she's.
showed up on the floor of the House with a bucket of chicken.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy. And it's just a Hollywood screenwriter couldn't write a better comedy than that. But here you go. The Democrats are going to Democrat. That's just what they are. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know when they be. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that it happened during the Obama term, but probably the second one more so than the first. But the Democrats have gone so far left that it's not even, this is their
Yeah.
new home. I don't get it, but then again, I don't vote Democrat. So
Agreed. And one last thing about Tennessee before we jump to our next part of this story is one thing I saw this morning, and I meant to make a slide for this, and it slipped my mind afterwards because the original article I wrote on it had a terrible picture. So I was actually just trying to find a different picture. But anyway, is there are consequences now for them holding this little insurrection inside the State House in Tennessee once again, because remember, they've done that several times before over the trans issues and other stuff in Tennessee. That they are stripping all Democrats of every committee seat they have, except for ones where they're required to leave them in place by by existing law in Tennessee. So again, and this is the way we have to treat these people. There have to actually be consequences when they pull these stunts, when these theater kids go act out their fantasies, and think they can go fight the cops. I mean, this code switching Justin, whatever his name is, I keep forgetting his last name. There has to be consequences for this stuff. When you're going to go put on your Malcolm X accent once again and pretend. But that's who these people are. They always cater to the lowest common denominator. They play to the cameras. They understand manipulating the media. Not that they have to, because they're already in their camp. But we've got some other good news here, so we'll get to this before we get to more of the bad news. Fifth Circuit unanimously vacates race-based redistricting order. Mississippi no longer forced to draw woke majority black Supreme Court districts. We're gonna have some pickups there. And actually, I'll just go ahead and pull our next headline too. Missouri Supreme Court upholds new congressional map, adding likely GOP seat. So again, Missouri, they're out there doing what every state should be doing right now. Like I said, I think this puts us up 9 seats, and that factors in California and other Democrat gerrymandering that's going on right now to swap more seats over, because they just don't have much room to play. I was watching something this morning about, Pritzker in Illinois is talking about doing the same, but there's no real districts they can flip anymore. They show you the map, and it's a bunch of squiggly lines, to create these districts. And, they just don't have room to do it. New York has maybe 1 seat they can flip over, so that would put us back to 8. But there's around 13 more, I believe. I believe it's 13 more that we could pick up just under the VRA, not even playing hardball in with other ways to end Democrat districts. Like Ohio, DeWine should be pushing this through right now. But we're not seeing any action there. Utah needs to get back in the game, especially after their Supreme Court justice was just found to be having an affair with the Democrat that was arguing against them for the districts there. And that'll be a 2-seat pickup, because in Utah, it's even worse. Not only did they not let them flip the 1 district, they said, hey, you actually have to give the Democrats another one. So again, this is where we should be fighting. This is where the battle line should be drawn. And we need to get in the arena and start combat.
Well, the old adage is all politics is local, and this is a perfect example of that. You've got some Republicans at the state level that do have a pretty strong spine and some testicular fortitude. On the federal level, well, maybe not so much, but I think they're starting to lean into it a little bit. I was watching Speaker Mike Johnson this morning, and he was specifically asked, what do you think this does for the midterms now that you're getting rid of all these race-based voting districts that were racist to begin with, no matter what anybody tells you, because they were drawn up essentially to give Democrats seats that they otherwise would not have picked up. And I get why back in the day they said, oh, we got to figure this. We got to figure out a way to gerrymander. The gerrymandering is what they did. And now all of a sudden that's coming back to bite them in the ass after the Louisiana Calais decision by the Supreme Court. Now, Mike Johnson was specifically asked, what do you think this does for your odds in the midterm? And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty close to an actual quote. He said, I think we've got a strong single-digit lead, perhaps a double-digit lead coming out of the midterms. That would rock the entire paradigm. It would be a paradigm shift in the House if that happens. And then you get these 5 morons in South Carolina. But, hey, South Carolina is pretty red. So I'll be surprised if those 5, at least a few of them, manage to hold on through a primary when they come up. I don't know what their elections are like there in South Carolina. I don't live there yet, but I am planning on moving there. So when I get there, I'll do my part.
Yeah. Well, this the other thing too is right now, Harmeet Dillon is going after a few other states like New Jersey, because there's 2 VRA seats there, and is going to force them to make changes. Really, she needs to be doing this with everybody. We've got to push Kentucky. They've got a Democrat governor, so they're not going to move on their own, but we need to force them to do it. Same with North Carolina, Georgia. You have a undocumented Democrat, Kemp, running Georgia right